CuttyMack Publishing presents Dubie, the Hustler by legendary Ali Shabazz. Cover by Dan Master. Illustrations by Fellas. Music composed by Dangle Beats. Narrated by the legendary OG CuttyMack. Chapter 1. Dubie, get your tight head up, boy. You know I'm not taking your narrow ass all the way to that valley if you miss that school bus. Mom's yelled as she struggled to get me out of bed. You sleeping left during the Star-Spangled Banner in homeroom. My eyes popped wide open. I was cold busted. Moms didn't even give me a chance to wonder how she found out. Don't have your teacher calling me at work bothering me with that bullshit. Mr. Tipperton said when you're not sleeping in class, you're telling Richard Pryor jokes and dancing during the national anthem. Nigga, for what? That song ain't even funky. Why in the fuck you trying to groove to that bland song for? You ain't never heard that shit on Soul Train? Well, after all that hoopla, I couldn't help but wake up. All right, moms, cool it with all the drama. I'm a hustler. I'm supposed to be waking up to the sound of wind chimes, not hot air and noise. I joke with my moms that I struggle to get out of bed at 5 in the morning just to make it to school. Oh, shit. Listen to Tootie Reese over here. Boy, you can't hustle your way out the bathroom fast enough without pissing on yourself. Look at ya. And while you're in the bathroom, make sure you hustle that white shit out the corners of your eyes. It looks like somebody shot you in the eye with a spitball. And don't be in there fucking around dancing in that mirror and miss that bus. As soon as I got to the bathroom, I flipped the toilet seat up and turned on the Panasonic RF 930 AM FM radio sitting on the back of the tank. I had to turn the big turning knob and adjust the antenna just right and get the good reception. Needless to say, I pissed all on the floor trying to get the AM dial to stay on 1580, but my jam was on, and my wangalang got away from me when I started dancing. I turned on the water and let it fill up in the face bowl. I splashed my hands around in the water and got my washcloth wet to make it sound like I was giving myself a good scrub, but I wasn't serious about it. Yes, I am a teenager, and my mom says to go tell me to wash my ass from time to time, but I got personality, and that makes people look past all the other shit that I'm supposed to do, and I don't. I'm in junior high school now, and I have to bust fresh. I can't keep bagging on fools to blinding from these bummy clothes I got on. I yelled out to my mother over the music and running water from behind the bathroom door. Moms, when are you going to get that check from the accident? You're hindering progress, which has enabled me to reach my full potential. Boy, if you keep worrying me about those school clothes, I'm going to leave them things in layaway. Moms threatened. I exited the bathroom to plead my case. Man, school has been in for 2 weeks already, and I'm still wearing last year's clothes. And it's not all about me. The freaks have been waiting impatiently for me to break out and bust into something fresh. Boy, take this $3 for today and tomorrow, and you get some fresh coffee cakes. $3? I was not happy. Come on, moms. What can I do with $3? How much money you have in your pockets now? Moms asked. None, I answered. Case closed. You get free lunch tickets and you have a free bus ride to and from school. County tickets? You are going to make your only son, Dubie the Hustler, use a county-issued lunch ticket? I ain't eat with no county tickets. I pouted. Well, starve then, nigga. You better be lucky the county is feeding your ass. You don't have a job, and neither does your hustle, because it ain't working either. Now give your mama a kiss so I can get ready for work. Ooh, boy. Get your ass back in that bathroom and wash your face. It smells like you were sleeping with your mouth wide open. Your cheek smells like drizzle. And hey, baby, be careful crossing Normandy. They have been driving down that street like fools lately. After playing around in the bathroom for longer than I should have, I found myself rushing around trying to get my book bag in order while I put my last year's school clothes on. They were piled up in the corner, and I didn't even bother ironing them. Those old clothes was killing my image. I didn't have that much to work with in the looks department. I'm a skinny, dark brown, peasy head, pigeon-toed nigga with Chinese eyes. But my confidence is a motherfucker. Clothes don't make the man, but they would definitely make my life a little bit easier. I couldn't wait for moms to get that insurance check so I could bust fresh. I turned on the TV to catch a cartoon or two while I nibbled on some breakfast. I was wolfing down some Captain Crunch cereal when I saw J-Dub, Artemis, and Lardarius through the window as they walked across the grass. They banged on the front door. 3 cartoons in, and I forgot about the time. If it weren't for my homies, I would never make that school bus on time. I grabbed my peachy folder and the $3 my moms gave me. I added them to the other $1 bills I had been saving. I placed the wad of ones underneath the $5 bill to make my bankroll look huge to the eye of another broke kid in junior high. I left the house and we all headed toward the bus stop. Well, I still didn't put a lick of soap or water on my face, and my breath smelled like spoiled milk and funky crunch berries. It was still dark outside at 5:45 a.m., but we were making rush hour traffic noise. Our loud mouths were probably pissing off every person on the block that didn't have to wake up for at least another 30 minutes. We were belling down the block. I was in front strutting fast, swaying my arm from side to side, similar to the way George Jefferson walks. Lardarius tried to roast me in his whispery voice. Dubie, how'd you leave the house with that white shit stuck to your face? It looks like dried up snot. I know I told your mama to teach you better than that. Oh, no, you didn't, Lardarius. And your mama smells like a wheelchair pillow. Thinking all her clothes look like choir robes. Oh, no, you didn't, Lardarius. And your mama smells like a wheelchair pillow. Thinking all her clothes look like choir robes. Walking around normally trying to look like a colored woman. Nigga thinking you going to heaven because your mama's a fat church lady with a veil on her hat. I was the life of the party with the gift of the gab. I was the funniest dude in school and in the neighborhood. I could have done just about anything other than come to school smelling like shit and got away with it. People would say things to me every day just so I could roast them. They couldn't wait for me to talk about their mamas. And I was always more than willing to give them what they wanted too. When we got to the bus stop on Normandy and Gage, there were already a few square students already there, bundled up in their new school coats. For me, standing on the corner was no different than being on stage, and it was showtime. I went to the edge of the curb and just started freaking. That was my trademark dance, the freak. I didn't even need no music, and I would just start freaking. But if you had some music, it was even better. Cars would stop at the light, and drivers would turn their music up just so they could catch me do the freak. I was freaking everything moving, too. The little 7th grade Mexican girl Guadalupe that didn't speak English, leaning up against the fence waiting for the bus. I walked right up on her and started doing the freak. She didn't even know what was happening. She just got freaked by El Dubie, bitch. That's what's happening. It was a row of squares standing there, but I only got the ones that didn't see it coming. I slid down to the girl Jonelle, that was a strict Jehovah's Witness, and just started freaking. Oh. Once I got my groove going, I put one hand behind my head and left one hand on my hip for that one. Chubby Raymond Jones, whose mama still walked his big ass at a bus stop every morning, shook her head in a pitiful way like she wasn't enjoying my show. Shit, I grabbed Raymond's mama by the waistline, turned her big hips around, and started freaking her from the back too. Hoo-hoo-hoo! Miss Jones was down in the party, and she started doing the freak of her era called the loose booty back on me. Miss Jones had on those big woman slacks with no pockets in the back, looking like one of Aretha Franklin's backup singers. Raymond was so embarrassed. His mama with them wide hips was getting freaked by me on the corner at 6 in the morning, and she liked it. That had to be disturbing to his psyche. I had everybody dying laughing after that slick dance move, including a little Mexican girl that still didn't have a clue to what was going on. I was freaking everything moving, I'm telling you. I had girls from the rival schools yelling toward me in their sexy voices as their yellow buses passed us in transit. I saw our bus pulling up, so I jumped in the street and freaked the bus driver. All the kids that were on the bus already were leaning out their seats trying to see Dubie act a fool in these streets. When I got on the bus, the driver immediately put me in the front seat with the squares because of my antics. Shit, that wasn't gonna stop me. She pretended like I was being punished, but she just wanted me up there in the front to keep her entertained because she could hear my crazy ass jokes from all the way in the back. At least she put me next to the homie Jerome, so I could at least have somebody to snap on people with instead of one of those snotty-nosed, bologna sandwich-smelling nerds that chose to sit in the front of the bus on purpose. The bus driver also messed my chances up from sitting with the love of my life, Nikki Johnson. She was only 13 and was already built like a grown woman. Her titties was bigger than my mama's. Her nickname was Bam Bam. Nikki was so fine, I kept a picture of her in my wallet that I cut out the 7th grade yearbook. She didn't even know I existed, but she was going to be mine one day. She was going to be my woman. As soon as the bus pulled away from the curb, I turned around and started yelling toward my friends in the back of the bus. Woo! Y'all watch me tonight at Uncle Jam's tonight, boy. I'm going to have freaks from Dorsey, Crenshaw, Bannon, and Manual Arts all rubbing my head and nigga leaving with their damn hands bleed. Nigga, your head is so nappy. Every time you comb it sound like you biting apples. Roasted big-head Marvis from the back of the bus. Marvis, you shouldn't even be talking. You come to school every day smelling like your mama's panty liner, and you wonder why them straight tomcats be following your ass. Nigga, shut your monkey ass up, you old big heavy head motherfucker. Hey y'all, Marvis bent down to tie his shoes and he fell. The bus driver turned the radio on to drown me out, but that lit the fuse. I like music more than talking about fools. And when my jam came on, I was gonna get to freaking from all angles. The bus driver pushed the last button on the right. The dial popped to 1580K Day. Our favorite on-air personality, Bobby Jimmy, was doing his segment of the show called the Bag Bobby Jimmy line. Bobby Jimmy would let kids call the radio station and he would play the dozens with them. Bobby Jimmy was one of the best snappers and he had our entire bus laughing. The man stole my show, but I didn't mind because he had me cracking up too. Bobby Jimmy and this cat named Durrell with the curl from Washington Preparatory High School was going at it, as they often did, when the advertisement to the evening stopping grounds came on the radio.
Cut it up! Coming to the LA Sports Arena, Saturday, March 17th, Uncle Jam's Army presents the Slam Jam Festival at the LA Sports Arena, starring 10,000 of LA's finest party people. Saturday, March 17th at the LA Sports Arena, the first big dance of 1984. It's time for the Slam Jam Festival at the LA Sports Arena. Get your tickets now, baby. Uncle Jam's Army, yeah!
March 17th, Sports Arena Slam Jam, rockin' 2 turn ladies with Uncle Jam. So fresh with the mix, I cut it up to the beat. I'm the Egyptian lover, baby. I'm so sweet.
Advanced tickets at Flipside, Copper Penny, and VIP Records in Long Beach. Promotional consideration by Jackson Limousine and Handsome Dude Hair Care Products. Saturday, March 17th at the Illy Sports Arena. So the Egyptian lover, Mr. Pinch, Bobcat. The Slam Jam Festival at the LA Sports Arena. Saturday, March 17th, baby. Oh.
We were fired up. I was grinning like a Cheshire cat. I had to set it off and give a brief introduction to what I was going to be giving them later on that night. J-Dub and Artemis started banging Run DMC Suck MC beat on the back of the bus seat, and I let it loose. I was rapping the words all wrong, but it didn't matter because I still rocked it. My lizard-shaped face and funny facial expressions can win the crowd over every time. I watched the bus driver through the rearview mirror. As soon as she looked the other way, I jumped in the aisle and started freaking. Whoo! The whole bus was going wild. I made that hour and 45-minute bus drive in Nobel Junior High School in Northridge, California seem like a 10-minute ride. We weren't necessarily escaping the gang-plagued neighborhood we lived in, but we didn't go to our local school. Instead, we were getting bused to the valley. That was the latest trend in the school system. Most of us would never have the chance to leave our area, so this was the perfect opportunity to see some new things. All the kids from the hoods of South Central LA got one of those Choices books, and many signed up for the PWT and magnet programs to get bused to the valley. Prior to the program in the early 80s, Valley schools had one black student a year, and he grew up out there. We came 300 deep damn near overnight and changed the dynamics forever. We all did pretty good in school, unless we had an asshole teacher and racism was still relevant in their psyche. Most of us received our first D's and F's because of that bullshit. But we had a remedy for that. Bad grades can be fixed through hard work. But the sting in our asses couldn't be fixed if we brought a bad grade home to our mothers, so we had to use a little trickery to buy us some time until the next progress reports came out. See, we kept multiple blank progress reports. If we got a bad grade, we would find the girls with the best penmanship to forge the duplicate report card we took home to our mothers. I got off the school bus singing Radioactivity. I was doing a two-step dance. I had to save my freak for later on that night, unless it was deemed necessary to bust it out early. Would you please turn that radio down on the subway? It's that radio activity. Would you please turn that radio down on the subway? I kept singing the same part of the song over and over while we made our morning rounds to our lockers before our first period class. I used to love peeking over the non-hip student's shoulder and memorizing the combination to their locker. I played all kinds of practical jokes doing that shit. If the lockers were side by side, I would switch out all the contents and leave them baffled. If a student had a little suck in him, I would take all the items out of a locker before second period, and by third period, when the student had gone to get the principal, I would put everything back perfect and get them in trouble for lying. I would steal some fat kid's sugary snacks and replace them with a leaf of lettuce or a turnip. The white kids, I would take a bite out of their fruit and put it back, then take a couple of swallows out of their juice box and tape the straw back. Boy, my best one to date was when I took this kid's sandwich and folded the bread in half and then bit the edge of it. I left a big asshole right in the middle of his turkey sandwich. That fat boy was pissed come lunchtime. I would sit way in the cut and wait for the results because I was not good at concealing my laughter at all. Damn! Somebody took a bite of my sandwich. Boy, friendships was tested and many fights were started all because of my crazy ass antics, but they never knew it was I. Homeroom was a drag as usual. I had to do everything in my power to stay awake during the Star-Spangled Banner, and I was standing up. Mr. Temperton was eyeballing me like he couldn't wait to snitch on me to my mom's again. I really didn't have a problem with the homeroom teacher, but my uncanny ability to distract the class from his boring lesson was a problem he had with me. See, everyone followed what I did, so he wanted me to set an example and be a leader. He must have saw something in me even my own mama couldn't see, because I was a born fool with the capability to lead you down the Soul Train line, and that was about it at 14 years old. By the time lunchtime came around, I was happy because I was hungry. I didn't get my school coffee cake at nutrition because the school implemented a rule that we could no longer request the fluffy coffee cakes in the middle. We had to buy the coffee cakes that were on the edge of the pan too. Ain't that about a bitch? I wasn't about to spend my money on a coffee cake with that hard-ass slanted edge and mess up my grill. I can't be an ugly nigga and have a chipped tooth. Nigga, how was that gonna look? The administration must have been crazy. While we were in the lunch line, I pulled out my bankroll to flash it, and the damn lunch ticket fell out my pocket. It didn't matter that my bankroll quadrupled theirs, even if it was a gypsy roll filled with ones. A county ticket was not cool. Even though all of us use it from time to time, especially on hamburger day, you weren't supposed to let your friends see you. Boy, jokes started hitting me from all directions, but I swatted them down with ease. My mama jokes was always funnier. The only other crew that gave us a run for our money in the popularity department was these cats that called themselves the Four Lovers. It was Derek Dezo Davis, Mike, Donnie, and Vernell. They had their own clique, but they were the homies. Man, what time are you guys going to Uncle Jam tonight? Derek Davis asked like he was eager to go right at that moment. Before I answered, Mike roasted me and said, "Nigga, I hope you got some money. They not accepting those county tickets and food stamps at the door." Yeah, nigga, and don't come dressed like you going to church. Nigga gonna come looking like his uncle in a sweatsuit and some dress shoes. Yeah, nigga, but my shit still gonna be new though. You been running around school for the last 2 weeks lying about your hustler clothes you got on layaway, and you still don't have shit. Cause you come into Uncle Jam's in that same fucked up generic brand outfit you got on right now. And I hope you get the ring around the collar out that shirt. Boy, the back of your neck is so rich with soil, I could grow some potatoes on that bitch. Damn, Mike got me on that one. He was right. Until Moms got that insurance money, I had to wear the same bum clothes to Uncle Jam's. I had 18 $1 bills and a 5. I had to get my money up and buy an outfit before the jam. Normally, I would shoot some dice or play Get Like Me, but they don't get down like that at those valley schools. I would be snitched on and expelled with a quickness. I had to come up with something clever. To save face, I just started running my mouth. "Watch tonight, boy. I'm gonna bust fresh. I told y'all tonight was the night, so hold tight, like Mike's fucked up haircut. Nigga, is that a shag or a piece of sausage taped to the back of your neck?" While we kept bagging on each other, a few big booty girls in Gloria Vanderbilt jeans came over to the lunch table to see what we were laughing about. It was Teresa, Sherry, Robin, Denise, and Jonelle, that cute little Jehovah's Witness girl. I know they was digging me, especially Sherry and Denise, but I don't think they were ready for all this hustler. Whoo! I heard once that women find man funk attractive, so they must have found me irresistible, because my pitch was kicking. Donnie started to hit the sucker MC beat on the lunch tables, and I went into my routine. Boy, I jumped behind thick Denise and started freaking. Whoo! Whoo! Sweet girl Robin got behind me and got her freak on. Vernell got behind Robin. Sherry got behind Vernell. Dezo got behind Sherry. And just like that, we had a freak line popping. Who did white folks shut all that shit down? Once the teachers broke up our unauthorized lunch dance, I was really disturbed about what Mike had said. I didn't give a shit about him snapping on me. I was more concerned that I gave my word I would break fresh by the time Uncle Jam's came around, and I couldn't deliver. After school, my crew and 4 lovers made plans to meet up at VIP Tickets across the street from the sports arena at 8 p.m. We got on our designated school buses and headed back to the hood. I thought long and hard about how I was going to break fresh at Uncle Jam's, but I had no solutions. I thought about it so hard, I fell asleep and didn't wake up until we were at Hoover and Gage. When Artemis woke me up at the stop before ours, all the kids yelled out, "Ah!" When I raised my head up off the back of the bus seat in front of me, I had drool hanging from my mouth and it was connected to my hand.